I'll tell you, I was seeing beach balls yesterday playing Battle Royale. Things were going very, very well. I was cranking balls all the way out to Timbuktu, and I'm thinking maybe more of that today. And that's a real place, by the way, Timbuktu. It's in Mali, although not the capital. I think it's a little small town. It's no Bamako. I'm sure you guys are familiar. But I made some changes to the team, and because we're on the lower difficulties, I really wanted to feature some power, even at the expense of some contact. So Byron Buxton is going to be making the move to center field. I'm still getting the Yankees boosts, by the way, because I have 8 Yankees in total. I know the team probably looked a little bit boring because there were a lot of Yankees, but, you know, getting Derek Jeter plus, what is it here? I got to go to Aaron Judge, I guess. Getting Derek Jeter plus 5 power right, plus 10 power left, and plus 10 arm strength, pretty good. And then it obviously makes Reggie Jackson great, and Mickey Mantle. And the Yankees theme team will be on the way at some point. But Rafael Devers, if you want a little bit of Red Sox action, not my cup of tea, but he's a really good player, obviously, with some really good quirks. I'm a big fan of quirks. Quirks matter a lot, in my opinion. Bad ball hitter is a really good one. Unfazed, breaking ball hitter. You know, these are all good quirks to have. And I think also Jim Thome is going to be somebody that's really good on the lower difficulties. He also has some pretty good quirks as well. If you guys are unfamiliar with the quirks in MLB The Show, they all kind of do the same thing, I would say. So, like, first pitch hitter, your PCI is a little bit bigger on the first pitch of at-bats. Unfazed, it's bigger with 2 strikes. And you can pretty much put the pieces together on a lot of those. Like, breaking ball hitter, maybe the PCI grows on breaking balls. I don't exactly know how those ones work, but Keston Hira also in the lineup. He's been incredible for me in the history of MLB The Show, and his numbers against righties are phenomenal, and I like hitting righty-righty. Gary Sanchez, Yankee legend, to the team as well. So it's a very good roster, and this lineup should be able to do big things for me. A couple of Yankees there at the top of the order, and then after that, I'll be honest, the order really doesn't matter a ton. I might actually just put Keston in the cleanup spot, and then that's kind of a lot of lefties in a row. Maybe I'll go Gary, followed up by, let's go Aaron Judge after Devers, and then Buxton, and then Thome in the 9-hole as like another cleanup in a way. So we'll see how things go. I am 4-0 currently in ranked seasons. As I've mentioned before, a lot of these games here in the lower difficulties are going to be a little bit easier for me. Most of the players aren't especially good, and that's not to say that I'm something special, obviously, but I've been playing the game for a number of years now. I should be able to beat up on a lot of these guys who are less familiar with the game. Pitching is harder on these lower difficulties because the speeds are lower, your PCI is bigger, but hopefully we're able to, like, you know, shut them down as much as possible, and of course score a ton of runs. That's my MO. It's not about, you know, how good I am on the mound. It's really tough to get outs this year, in my opinion. But hopefully we can make up for it with our hitting ability. Patrick Sandoval on the mound. He's got Ricky. He's got a better team than we have. Okay, I like that. 99 Jeff Bagwell. That's a card that a lot of people historically have not liked in MLB The Show because he has a weird little, like, troll stance. You'll see it. Well, maybe you won't because of my pitching angle. But I liked him in the past. He's a first baseman with a ton of power and speed, actually, which is a little bit unusual for that position. And, you know, there is a huge rivalry with the Yankees and the Astros right now. And I live in Houston currently. A lot of you are probably wondering, if you don't know my backstory, why I have the Houston tag and then Yankees jerseys. From New Jersey, born and raised, lived there for many years, and then moved to Houston in 2019. And I have a ton of family in Texas as well. I've got a 94-year-old great aunt who's a massive Astros fan who lives here in Houston as well. And she and many others in Texas are a big reason I liked the Astros as well growing up. And they were in the National League. They were not a rivalry with the Yankees at all. Not even a little bit. So it was really fun to kind of watch some of those guys. Like, you know, I would say the Bagwell Biggio are kind of like a little bit too early for me to really remember too well. But like Lance Berkman, I especially really remember. Carlos Beltran. You know, the Astros had a ton of really, really fun players. Roy Oswalt, I would say, is in that same group as well for me. And then obviously they fell off a cliff. And then I liked the Astros when they had George Springer. and even, you know, Altuve. But I especially like George Springer. And then it all went to shit, man. The Astros got too good for their own good. And unfortunately have sent me home very sad as a Yankees fan on a number of occasions. So, anyway, I'm going to get past that. I can't think about it too much. I'll start to cry. And strike 3. Got Louis Bob swinging. And here you do see Jeff Bagwell's stance. Look at the little troll. He could crush one, though. So we gotta lock in. But the way I was hitting so well yesterday, and it kind of looks like Eric Hosmer's on the mound for some reason, by the way. Like with his face. But I was just really having patient at bats and just, you know, waiting for my pitch. And then when I saw that pitch, I wouldn't miss it like I did just there. That's a terrible swing. But my first swing of the day, so I'll give myself a little bit of a pass. I didn't play to warm up, just hopped on for the first time. And it might take me, you know, a swing or two to get back in the rhythm. Although that's a base knock, a little bit above that. I should have warmed up. What am I? I'm an idiot. I am really pissed I got out with Jeter, though. I'm really just trying to be unbelievable with him the entire year. I know I'm still hitting probably like 660 with him after that out. But it's not enough. This guy's really worried about the steal. I wish I could tell him. I wish I could hop on the mic and say, hey, if you've seen me hit before, you know I really don't have a reason to steal. I'm probably more likely to hit a home run. And there it goes. So I know the swing before that while I was talking was ugly. That one, not so much. Reggie Jackson. Deep out to center field. 440. You know, sometimes I will steal, but I'm not really too concerned about it early on in the game. I want to see how he can hit first. Now, we got a little bit unlucky to be facing a lefty. Keston, for example, really doesn't hit lefties that well. And there are very few lefty starters in the game. So you're really actually unlikely to be facing a lefty. But here we are. Keston does get a hit anyway, though. And if he keeps throwing that fastball down and in like that to a righty, I'm going to crank it. I'm being polite, not swinging at it. That's how we're going to frame this. But I'm telling you, I will destroy it. Oh, that's a fastball up. And Gary hits it out. No doubt about that one. I'm telling you, Gary Sanchez on these lower difficulties is going to be a cheat code. Because his contact is essentially not really going to matter too much. I feel like I'm going to be good enough to get close to it. He's going to leave the game, by the way. We're not going to do a friendly quit. So I feel like just the power is going to be so unbelievable where if you connect with Gary, the ball's going a long way. He put a fastball up in the zone there. And I know it was just a little bit out of the zone, but that's a pitch you can square up. And it's pretty easy to because you just jam your PCI right up to the top. And you don't really have to be too precise. You just go straight up and get it. That's why to these guys with lower contact, not necessarily on these lower difficulties, but on the higher difficulties, you don't really want to nibble on the corners too much because that's where people can jam their PCI to. You kind of want to throw a little bit more around the middle of the plate, as crazy as that sounds, because it's just a little bit more difficult to hit in MLB The Show. Ooh, he's got supercharged Brian Reynolds and Luis Arise. I should have thrown Arise into the team. I had him in Battle Royale on stream last night. Twitch.tv/Bengal. I've pretty much been going live every night if you're interested in watching some live gameplay. Play a lot of Battle Royale mode. I had Luis Arise supercharged, and I started out doing really well with him. I was hitting over 900. I think I'm down to like 870 now with him, but he was an extra base hit machine. As Jeter's average slumps to 664. Trying to get that back up. Let's start nicely here. I'd love to get on a fastball, but we got to be aware of that cutter. This guy's being very slow and deliberate to the plate. These type of games are always really not fun to play. Just because they take so long. You know, the pitcher holds it for twice as long as somebody else would. So the games, in theory, would go twice as long, which is, again, not fun. Ooh, good pitch, kind of. Stayed back on it a little bit. You know, he got me with a fastball first pitch. I said I was sitting on it, but I lied. Ooh. Sitting on it that time. What am I doing, dude? Splitter. That's a tough pitch. I mean, it looked like a fastball at first. Which is what that pitch is supposed to do. God! Why am I ruining my stats with Derek Jeter? Brutal. Here's a cutter. Get up! Don't be a line out. Oh, I deserve a hit on that anyway, I think. That is a cutter up and out of the zone a little bit. We did square it up, though. Good timing. I'm glad that actually got down. And Mickey Mantle has the legs to turn that into 2. And Reggie Jackson hopefully will have the power in the legs to hit this one out. I don't know that I'm going to get a run here in the first inning. Struck out looking with Reggie Jackson on a fastball away. Just did not think it was a strike, and I've been way too early on the cutter. See, the good thing about ranked seasons is you can afford to be a little bit patient, see what your opponent wants to do. But I would say this guy hasn't been incredibly predictable so far, as I am literally all over that one. Can't really hit it better. And we line out right to the right fielder. This game could be a little bit annoying. I think I'm eventually going to find it at the plate. Had a couple of good swings. The Jeter swing was not good. I should have crushed the first pitch, and I missed it. And then I struck out unbelievably. I struck out twice that inning, which I pretty much never strike out. So to do so twice already in just 4 batters is pretty obscene. Good enough pitch. We got him swinging, I guess. Kind of a check swing there. Sword for the K. And we got to come up and hit, because that first inning was absolutely embarrassing. I'm still warming up. We still got to lock in. Gary going the other way. Am I going to line out again? All right. I guess that's just baseball, right? Did we get that up? Please. It's got to be a single. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So off the base of the right field wall, Brian Reynolds, I think, was the one who got that in really quickly. Perfect, perfect. It's nice to see that land for a hit, even though it was, I mean, not one of my best swings. That was a curveball right here. One of the easier pitches to hit in the entire game. You just yank your PCI straight down, and you're able to smash it. Aaron Judge hitting 625 for me with a pair of homers and a pair of doubles. I would gladly accept either right now, and I'm going to line out again. Okay, no, I'm actually not losing my cool. I will say, though, that's actually quite a few lineouts to this point. Byron Buxton wears it on the knee. His season's over, probably, is what happens there. Although he's taking first base. Only has 56 steal. I guess he probably doesn't steal too much anymore to avoid injury, as we miss a meatball there. Got a fastball. Perfect, perfect. It's a fucking ground ball at the second baseman. I hate baseball. I know it's just baseball. I hate it. I hate this sport. How is it 0-0? Listen, I know like all the new players would be like, well, that is just baseball. You can't complain. Dude, I am all over the ball to start this game. How do I have 0 runs? Yeah, you know what? The pitcher's just got your number, forcing ground balls. I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream. And I'll be a little baby about it. I don't care. I deserve runs. Give me them. Please, that can't be a hit. Dude, I am about to start whining like, wah, 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 bitch, I'm a little baby. New EP out soon. But, man, first and second, 2 outs here. Luis Ariz reaches. Should be able to deal with Biggio, but I can see him blooping me, which would be really, really sad. I don't really think he takes me deep. Here's a ground ball at Jeter. Gonna throw to first, and we got Biggio. Ton of speed. I probably should have gone to 2, but the cannon from Jeter pays off. And he's actually back up to hit. And I better get onto something. Average is now below 660. And the problem with, if that would have been a line out, I don't know what would have happened, by the way. Another perfect. This is a double. But the problem with having an average so high is you can't even go 1 for 2 in a game. You have to get a minimum of 2 out of 3 to even hold under 670. It would be 667. You go 2 for 3 every game. So you really just need to dominate at the plate, which is what I've done mostly with Jeter to this point. But we have to be perfect with him. And we got to be lucky as well. That was a pitch I thought I could hit. I see where it is, but I thought I could stay on it and drive it the other way. But you know what? Some of these pitches are really good as well. Like the cutter, like just up and out of the zone. Like that's a tough pitch. The guy really isn't missing down the middle very much. So it makes these at-bats really tough. You really got to focus. And that's, I mean, the fact that I just missed that, it's a classic talking while playing. It's a challenge because that's a huge mistake. It's a massive mistake, and I didn't do anything with it. Still 0 runs, although that inning, it was on me more than the game, which is actually refreshing, to be honest. Let me make the mistakes so I can get mad at myself, rather than being like, oh, did everything right, nothing I can do, still out, all right. But that's what this is. If you have not been on the channel before, this goes really one of two ways. I get mad at myself for playing poorly, or I get mad at the game for not letting me do well when I'm playing well. Or I murder, and I say pretty much nothing. So, I guess those are really 3 outcomes. And, yeah. That's not going to be for everybody. I understand. But, I gotta tell you what's on my mind, huh? What it take. And it gets a lot easier when I'm not talking during the at-bat. Fastball up and in. Gary Sanchez does Gary Sanchez things. Unleash the Kraken. 107 off the bat, 426 feet to left field. And finally, we have managed to get a run. I didn't think we'd ever see the day. Perfect, perfect. That's going to be another hit. I do think I have more... that might have, like, actually broken it. I think we might have more perfect hits than perfect outs in this game. Judge, another perfect down the left field line. That's going to score a run. Does 51 speed get a second base? It does. It's Eloy Jimenez in left field. I would say that's a small tip that a lot of people probably don't think about, is really pay attention to who's in which outfield spot, because it's going to be important for points later in the game, potentially. Like, I know we can run on Eloy Jimenez in left field, and I know Brian Reynolds is in right field, who has an average arm, but probably one we can run on. I actually don't remember who's in center. But, I might get a look at him and then know. So, yeah, just know who they have in the outfield, and it'll really let you know if you can take the extra base or not. Because you can really run on bad arms. Whereas, it's highly ill-advised to test some of these better arms. You will be gunned out if the guy knows what he's doing. I'm getting luck going my way now. And I know the comment, see, it all comes around, Bengal. You know what, you're right. I shouldn't even be upset. That's back-to-back, not great hits. Runners on first and second for the captain, Derek Jeter. And this is the pitch that probably gets this guy to leave the game. It wasn't me. That's not me. That's not me. I'm going to wait on something on the inner third. Oh, my God. That was the pitch. I just didn't get up to it. Dude, we can test Eloy here. That's, I mean, like, that's a really bad, stupid tag. But, it's Eloy Jimenez, so I know I can run on that. I'm so bad. Why did you let it bounce? Just catch it in the air so I'm not doubled up. I don't know why, dude. It's the talking while playing. It gets me out half the time. It's, gotta focus up and then talk after I've smashed the ball. Ooh, that's out. See, that's what you don't want to do. You're gonna see the pitch after this. It is a curveball literally straight down, but it hangs up at the very bottom or just underneath the zone. You'd think that would be a good pitch, but it's not. It's the easiest pitch to hit out in the entire game for a lot of players, because you just yank down with your PCI and crank it. So a little bit of a mistake by me there. I think pinpoint might have had a little bit of something to do with it, but I think I also did not commit to burying the pitch enough. But there's a fine line between, you know, getting the ball down and then also making it non-competitive, because, you know, if it's too low, they're not going to swing at it. Keston down the line and foul. You know, I'm getting a lot of pitches just out of the zone, but as I mentioned previously, I just feel like they're too close to take. That's a hanger, and that is a banger. Keston Hiura. Solo shot extends our lead back to 3. He's a beast. Righty. Yeah, I might feel better with Keston Hiura than any card in the entire game. And I really mean that. There's just something about his swing and his stance and the timing and his attributes, of course, where I just feel like if you make a mistake at all, and even if you don't, but if it's near the strike zone, I feel like I can hammer it. I wanted to say El Gary is scary, and I'm late on it. That was a pitch to do damage with, and I just you hesitate for just that second too long, and that's a difference between a home run, which that absolutely would have been, and a line out. So just need to be a little bit more reactive, be okay with being early, rather than trying to sit back and risk being late. And I'm late there, maybe. Oh, but it's out. Rafael Devers. Oh, it's not out, actually. It's off the wall. 37 speed's not a lot, but he does his little run before throwing it. Okay. Well, see, I will say the one exception to that rule is when it's literally right down the middle, you can kind of be late because the ball really explodes, like, off the middle of the strike zone, which I think is a good thing. Honestly, like, the game should kind of make guys pay for throwing it right down the middle. Got to keep taking that cutter. It's not my pitch. Keep taking the splitter. I think he's going to go fastball up here, but I don't like sitting up there. I like reacting to it. It's exactly what it was, but I was too busy explaining my process instead of just making the artwork. Nice little analogy for you. Aaron Judge draws a walk. We'll bring up Byron Buxton. It's probably going to be a similar idea. He might go to somebody new, though. Ooh, closer Shohei. I don't think I'm going to like this. 3-1 to Buxton. I'm really just not swinging, and I think it's going to bother this guy, and I think he's going to make a mistake here, 3-1. Nope, fastball up and out of the zone. Misplaced that, and that's going to bring up Jim Thome. Bases juiced. Got to take advantage here. Probably will take the first pitch. I think it's going to be a cutter. Ooh, fastball up. That maybe could have jammed on that. But again, I want this guy to just throw pitches. Get Shohei's energy down a little bit at least. Ah, good pitch. And that's actually going to be down the line. That's a great spot for a splitter. But it's a Jim Thome 2 RBI double early on that one. Luckily enough for us, we were able to keep that fair and down the line. Runners are going to move to the corners, and Derek Jeter in a great matchup here, righty-righty. I love hitting righty-righty, as I've mentioned. We just got to get on a mistake. But I feel really good about this AB right here. And there it is. Jeter! Deep to left center! Get up! Get up! No! Why? Oh, that was just missed. I mean, tough. Really jumping off the plate at that? Yeah, you got to be so afraid that that's going to hit you. A 12-6 with pretty much completely vertical break. Keston, what a play. That's a mistake. Oh, man. Got to put a better swing out of that. It kind of, like, jammed me up a little bit. Curveball that I really just didn't think was going to hang in the zone, to be honest. And then when I realized it was going to, a little bit of a panic swing. Still hit pretty hard. So is that one. 101. And that's going to sneak off the wall. I don't know what he's doing. I thought it was out by his reaction. It's going to be a double that scores Mickey Mantle. The fastball is just not really a super viable pitch when you know I can sit on it like that. 101 really is not like anything crazy. I know that sounds absurd to say, but it's not that wild. There's 101 again. Wasn't ready for it that time. But if I'm ready for it, it's not really going to sneak past me. It's another great pitch. Living on the black right now. This is feeling like an uncomfortable AB, I'm going to be honest. See, that's a tough take. But I don't really... I mean, I probably could have scooped that out. Oh, nearly took off Shohei's head. El Gary is scary. No homer, but a really hard hit ball right back up the middle. Does that bring up Aaron Judge? No, I am going lefty-righty alternate. So, he might bring in a lefty here. It's going to be Taylor Rogers, who does have a sinker. I imagine this guy's going to lean on it pretty heavily. Shohei's his closer card. His primary pitch is a slider, and this guy really threw a lot of sliders with Shohei, although he's not showing me the sinker yet. Devers, a home run away from the cycle. Could it happen? Nope. Not even close to the strike zone there. Oh, that should be a strikeout. 2-2. We're fighting back, though. This is an uncomfortable AB. 3-2 though. And we draw a walk. Bases juiced, no outs for the judge. Here comes the judge. And I'm hoping it's going to be a there goes the judge. We're going to try and hit it out here. This is game over, I think, if we connect. I didn't get over to it enough. Not a bad swing, obviously. You can see my result. But I could feel it in the swing, too. I just didn't quite slide over enough to the inside. The slurve has a lot of horizontal break this year. Like, it really, really does. And there's a slider. He's got both, really. I mean, I'm just off of each of those by, like, the slightest amount. I'm not really off it, but I didn't perfectly square it up. Slider and slurve is a deadly combo. A good pitch. I think that was the best pitch I was going to be able to hit, though. PCI was just too small to, like, hit any of those sliders or slurves that were kind of dancing around the zone there. Got a fastball. Unfortunately, just missed that. And we really had an opportunity to break that game open and only got one run. Bases juiced with nobody out, and we got one run in. Complete disaster. I'm going to raise that up a bit so he thinks it's a fastball up, and then it's a slider. That's the swing we wanted. Pitch tunneling, somewhat important. Mickey, please find grass. It's going to be close. And that's actually going to get past the center fielder. We're going to hold two. You got that in remarkably quickly. I went and chased a slider off the plate with Jeter. This guy's got me expanding a little bit too much right now. As Reggie's going to go left center gap. That one's going to be back-to-back doubles. Mickey Mantle and Reggie Jackson will change places on second base. And it's just a bad game with Jeter, which I really am not accustomed to this point. His average is going to be down into the 640s, maybe even lower than that. We're 1 for 5, which is just not where we want to be, obviously. As at least we advanced the runner all over that one, just hit it right into the ground. Swinging at balls is a really bad way to play the game. You got to be patient. And I am losing patience, and I'm swinging at pretty much every first pitch now. We got to just get back in the zone. I think I'm just so demoralized because I keep getting out with Jeter, and it's making me sad. That's a banger, though. I was just waiting for one of those to stay in the zone. Here comes the judge. Aaron Judge, 427-foot home run. 108 off the bat. You just can't make that mistake. And we're actually into mercy territory now. If we hold him to no runs in the next inning, or bottom of the 7th, I should say, this game's over. And that should be the game. I got a little bit funky there, threw a 12-6 up and in. And that is the mercy. Could have played better, obviously, but I feel like we got cheated a little bit early in that game. I'm really sad that Jeter had a terrible game. But, you know, we got a little bit unlucky on a couple of those swings. I think 2 of them. And then, just were not great swings in the other couple. So, that's 1 for 5. Aaron Judge is your player of the game. Pair of home runs. Devers go 4 for 4. Was on cycle watch. And then, I mean, shockingly, he got the triple, but couldn't get the home run. So really came to life there after the 3rd inning. But as I kind of had been saying, I feel like we could have done that the entire time. Just weren't getting rewarded, which is all right. But my average will probably suffer as a result into the standings here. I am currently 6-0, hitting .513, I guess, but could be a little bit higher. Slugging 1227, OPS at 1750. Compared to my BR right now, the OPS is a little bit higher, actually, in ranked seasons. But that kind of makes sense. We've got better players. But in BR, you're facing worse pitchers, so I don't know. But I guess I'm a 515 hitter, probably. So Jeter, unfortunately, his average is dropping a little bit. I really want to keep that super high. 643 obviously isn't bad, but it's, you know, we started the video at like 670. And did just not have a great day with him, to be honest. But we're going to find it again. But I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.